Welcome back to East Texas Live on KETK. Have you ever thought about skydiving?
No. No, I never have. Hold on, I just said no, it's not for me. We've got a guest, though, today who has become a champion at doing just that. Last month, Matthew Green won a gold medal at the intermediate four-way formation skydiving competition at the 2013 Parachute Association National Championships. And it is, we're going to check the number out here. Now, first of all, thanks for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, how many jumps are we talking about here?
Just under 2,400.
Oh, just under 2,400.
No
I've had friends that have done 20,000.
Oh, you're
so
kidding me.
20,000.
What possessed what possessed you to get to think, yeah, jumping out of an airplane, that's what I want to do? How did you first get addicted to this thing?
One of the local radio DJs did a skydive, and he sounded like he had so much fun. I forgot about it for a couple days, saw some skydiving movies on TV, and went, oh, I think I can do that. And sure enough, I looked up the website. I called the poor people at 2 o'clock in the morning, scheduled my first skydive, and after that, I was kind of addicted.
Yeah, so the first time, what was it like for you?
I remember putting my foot outside the plane, jumping out, and next thing I remember is he's tapping me on the side, and when I opened my eyes, the camera guy's in front of me waving and thumbs up, so that's what I did, thumbs up the rest of the skydive. And when we got under canopy, everything slowed down a little, and I said, this is amazing. You can see 360 degrees around you. There's no window. And I said, this is amazing. He goes, this is amazing. You should try our class. I was like, you got a class? I'll tell you about it when we land. So when we landed, he signed me up for the class. I went the next day and did my first solo skydive.
So obviously you've come a long way from your first skydive. I mean, 2,400 skydives. But do you jump when you're jumping with other people? That's where I always hear about that. You've got to be very careful because that's when people can be hurt. Is that right? Is it a little bit more dicey when you're diving as a group than if you're just out there by yourself?
It's the same as if you're running. If I'm running by myself, I'm less likely to get hurt. But if I'm in a marathon with everyone bumping around me, I'm more likely to trip and fall. So we use safety precautions. I wear a helmet, and I use all my safety precautions to try to prevent anything from happening.
And now you're even competing in it. So what is the way that you can be the best? Is it falling the fastest, being the most smooth?
It's really having a good cohesive team, and a lot of training goes into it, a lot of visualizing, because we only get 35 seconds in the air, but the rest of the time we sit and just think about these skydives and these formations that we have to build, and just a lot of visualization.
How far are you? What's your altitude when you guys are jumping out of those planes? Man?
We can go as 13.5, but we normally get out at 10.5 because that's competition altitude, and we want our brains to be set up for this is how long we have to skydive when we do these jumps. And so we're getting out at 10.5 on this.
What speed are you falling? At what rate of speed are you guys falling?
Somewhere between 120 and 135, right about there.
Wow, so this is like a sport to you, so you have to prepare mentally. Is there any other ways you can prepare for this?
They have a wind tunnel. They have wind tunnels all over the country. They're actually going to build one in Dallas this year, and we spend a lot of time in that wind tunnel because we can get immediate feedback. We can practice these moves, hop out, look at the video. Our coaches can tell us what we're doing. We use coaches a lot. Yeah. And then we go back in, practice it some more, so we get immediate feedback from those tunnels.
So it's really about going the fastest down, or what?
Not the fastest down, building these formations as quickly as possible. So every formation you see is a point, and we're trying to build as many points as possible in that 35 seconds. So when you see us, every time we take our grips and release, we get a point for that. If we miss a grip, we lose a point. So whoever makes the most formations in that 35-second period scores the most points out of 10 rounds, wins the competition.
What goes up must come down. You guys eventually are back on the ground. Is that you pull your chute, or do they automatically open, or it's going to be either one?
We're going to pull our chute. If I was unable to do that, my reserve parachute has an automatic activator, and it'll open, and it's just meant to stop me from hitting the ground.
Ever had any scary moments like that? Oh my gosh, his chute didn't open. I mean, because you see that in all the movies.
We do a lot of training and a lot of practice, so it's muscle memory. So if I saw something wrong, my hands go right to my handles to cut away my parachute, to pull my reserve parachute. Never had to do that in 2,400 jumps, and every one of my teammates have, and I think it's because I jumped the station wagon. I jumped the daddy parachute because I have a 2-year-old. So my wife said, you can't jump the smaller, sleeker.
She's not going to let you risk yourself. No way. You've got a family.
I can't jump the race cars. I'm allowed to jump the station wagon.
I want to just mention that you are a trauma intensive care nurse as well.
Yes, sir.
When you're not jumping out of airplanes.
It's a lot the same. You've got to have your head on a swivel all the time, and you've got to be really attentive to everything. When I'm taking care of an ICU patient, I got to have my alarms on. I got to make sure I'm being really attentive to that patient and keeping track of everything that's going on with them. And it's the same thing thing in a skydive. I was told from my instructor, when you come out of the hangar, the skydive starts. Until you go back into the hangar and take that parachute off, that's when the skydive ends.
Last question. You got a 2-year-old. You going to let him jump out of a plane someday when they get big enough?
I already want to put her in a wind tunnel. The parachute thing's going to be her decision.
Oh, golly. You got to get her past mom first.
She'll have to be very brave like you.
Her mom's done a skydive as well.
Oh, golly.
And her grandmother.
Wow, friends
The whole family's into it.
The whole family's into it.
Congratulations. Be careful up there, would you please?
Yes, I will. Thank you very much.
All right.
All right, we'll learn